Kính thưa quý vị khán thính giả của chương trình Phố Bolsa TV, chỉ còn vài hôm nữa là tới ngày bầu cử của Hoa Kỳ, ngày 6 tháng 11 năm 2012. Trong nỗ lực giới thiệu các ứng cử viên của các thành phố lân cận tới quý vị khán thính giả của chương trình Phố Bolsa TV, ngày hôm nay chúng tôi sẽ tiếp chuyện với bà Penny Loomer, là một ứng cử viên cho chức vụ thị trưởng thành phố Westminster. Để giới thiệu tới quý vị một ứng cử viên. First, can you say hi to our audience for Bolsa TV?
Hello, viewers.
Okay. First, can you talk about a little bit about yourself, your education, your profession, as well as your family?
Certainly. I've lived in Westminster for 54 years. I grew up, went to the elementary schools, Schmidt and Finley, right there locally. I went to Westminster High School, went to Golden West College the first year it opened, and then I went to Cal State at Fresno, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Science. I married the guy down the street. We've been married for 35 years. We have 2 daughters. One graduated from UCI and one graduated from USC. And I started my career when I was 16 years old. I worked for the city of Westminster as a playground leader out at a park when I was going to high school. And then as I progressed through my education, I continued to advance. So I was a supervisor and then the community services director. And then when I retired, 40 years later with my career, I retired from being the assistant city manager. So that's kind of my career piece. And during those times, I did a variety of things. Community services director, I was very involved. One of the really highlights of my memories of my career was with the Vietnam War Memorial. I was on that committee that did logistics for the actually opening event. I was very proud that I did the 6 years I was assistant city manager. We balanced the budget all 6 years. We put money in reserves, and we did millions of dollars worth of infrastructure improvements.
We can say you are very tight with the Westminster City.
Very. I've been there a long time. I have 2 passions, the city of Westminster and my family.
Okay, great. Your name is not too strange to the voter, especially the voter in Westminster. We saw your name several times before running for,
yes.
Probably for city council. And I also remember you almost win several times, and after the count of absentee ballot, you lose to other candidates.
Yes.
What is your strategy this time to make the different outcome?
Thank you for bringing that up. I lost by 24 votes one time, and the last time 300 votes, where I raised $25,000 and my opponent raised $140,000. So that $140,000, $110,000 for those 300 votes. This time I have done some different outreach to what I would call voter niches. We've never outreached to the Latino community, I've done 3 interviews with the Vietnamese TV. We walked the entire community. Part of it's volunteers, paid some people, but we delivered 20,000 flyers to the community. I feel like one big piece, the endorsement I have that I'm most proud of is from Police Chief retired Ron Koopman. That is not a political endorsement. It is not a union endorsement. It is somebody that I worked with for 20 years who calls me the most qualified candidate. I'm very proud of that. There are a lot of endorsements people get that they don't really know the person, and I feel really comfortable with him, especially when safety is such an important issue.
You run several times for city council. Now you're running for the mayor. Probably you study a lot about this race. Can you tell us about this race for the mayor of Westminster City, and also tell us about why you decide to run for the mayor this time?
I think this is a critical time in our community. I believe strong leadership is imperative. I believe I have that leadership skills. I think that's why I took the jump from running for city council to mayor. It's still only 1 vote, but I do believe that the strong leadership, somebody who is very strong in what they believe our community should look like. And I have a vision for our community, and I want to move forward on that vision. And I think that even providing some leadership within the council as mayor will give me that opportunity.
Recently, many people, including some candidates, talking about the Westminster City problem, especially the deficit. What do you think of that problem, and how you gonna help to reduce that problem if you will be elected as mayor?
It's a critical question. It's a critical question, and there's not an easy answer. I believe, based on my background, I will come in, I won't need any training. I'm knowledgeable on the budget. I can look at those things that, for example, we just built a beautiful new police building. I think there's space there where we might do some maybe regional dispatch. And I think we need to explore those areas where we can support other cities. Might be one of those areas that we need to look at. I'm also concerned about the businesses. That sales tax, both Little Saigon area has great businesses. We need to make sure there aren't empty storefronts. Westminster Mall, 10 years ago, was number 2 in the county, and now it's number 8. We need to know why that is, because those issues all affect us. Certainly, jobs, revenue, economy is critical, not only in Westminster, but nationwide, and for most of us, even at home.
Another problem many people also mentioned was the transparency in the working of the city council. What do you think of that?
I'm a huge supporter of transparency. You will see in my campaign, I don't raise $100,000, but I raise a lot. My money is all from constituents. $25, $50. Those people believe in me. They've seen me operate in the past. I don't believe in hiding things. They used to make fun of me. I would go to the counter when I worked and say to people, customers, what do you think about this? What do you think about this change? Because I believe input is important. Even with the financial situation, it's like we need to get input from our businesses. We need to get input from elected officials and from our residents. So everybody will tell you that that's one of the things I have strength in, the transparency.
Do you think there is the problem with transparency in Westminster City Council currently now?
I think there are some issues. I think we've seen some issues in the newspaper. We've talked about the police chief reporting. That at one point the city council wanted the police chief to report to the city council. I don't believe in that. He's a professional. He needs to report to the professional. I believe that sometimes city councils get lost in those day-to-day, how can I help my friend or who endorsed me? And city councils are truly there to make public policy and have a vision for the community. The day-to-day job belongs to the city manager, the department heads. So city councils say to them, I want my streets safe. Here's the money. And then the city manager says, okay, he directs that chief to make safe streets. City councils don't make safe streets. They make the policy and give that direction. I think that's where we might have lost some sight.
Back to the race, one of the strongest candidates for Westminster City Council is Tar, the current mayor pro tem in Westminster City. Recently, I saw some negativity about him from Hamadi and also from another Vietnamese American candidate, Hamad. They both talk a lot about the problem they think Tar have. What do you think about that candidate?
I will never be part of a negative campaign. What I just don't believe in it. I signed an ethics declaration whenever I ran. I have 2 daughters. I'm an example to them. I am never about bullying half-truths and lies. I'm just not there. So what I can say about that candidate is that I will not say anything about him. What I can say is, in the last 6 years, the city council has had 67 layoffs. We're $3 million plus in trouble. And so as a result of that, I don't see any change happening. I would be that change agent because I'm not a politician. I'm a technician. I'm familiar with those kinds of things. But that's what I bring to the table is when I say honesty, integrity, I mean it. You will not see me. I am the best candidate, the most qualified. If I can't get that over to your viewers and to the voters by demeaning somebody else, that's the wrong way to win. I want to win because I am the best candidate.
I also received a flyer in Vietnamese from Hamadi with 10 points why people should not vote for Penny Loomer. You have any response to that?
Yes, I read that. Many of them I did not understand. I don't know. It's hard for me to see. She left the police department behind, and then I get the highest police officer, the chief, to support me. So, once again, those are half-truths, lies. They make you, and once again, we all signed, every one of us, signed an oath of not doing these kinds of things. Obviously, I am the one who's taking it seriously.
So signing that doesn't mean anything to someone if they want to break it.
But it's hard then for me, if you've done hit pieces on someone, to then say that you run on a platform of integrity and honesty. So when I say I run on a platform of integrity and honesty, I feel good about that because I have not gone down that path.
Westminster City with Little Saigon is one of the place with most Vietnamese out of the country. Do you think a candidate with Vietnamese background will be the best candidate for the mayor?
No.
Why not?
This is, it appears that this question that I've been asked several times is, what do you plan to do for the Vietnamese community? What I would say is, I am a person who looks for what we have in common. So if I say to you, here's what I will do for the Vietnamese community, I want to have safe streets, safe neighborhoods. I want our property values to maintain and go up. I want a police officer to be there when you call. I don't want there to be any holes in the street in front of your house. I want our children to have a good education. I want them to be able to walk to school safe. And after I say that as my vision for the community, I want great services for our children and for our seniors. That sounds to me like that's the same thing we want, whether we're Vietnamese, Latino, Caucasian. We all really want the same thing in our communities. We want our businesses to flourish. So for all those things, I want for everyone. I do not want just that for one group. That's my vision. I want Westminster to have it all. I'm looking for those things that we all want. Great neighborhoods, nice parks where our children are safe to go. That's what I want for all of us.
To conclude our interview today, can you say some last words to our audience? Also, especially tell them why they should vote for you on November 6th instead of any other candidate for the mayor of Westminster City.
I'm Penny Loomer, and I am the most qualified candidate for mayor. If you were hiring a mayor, not voting, if you were hiring a mayor, you would look at my resume and you would hire me for that job because I have great experience with a budget. I have experience working with the staff. I understand what services cities are supposed to offer to our community. I already work well with department heads. I understand every department. I think that's, once again, if you were going to hire somebody, you would hire me to be mayor of Westminster.
Thank you very much and wish you the good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.